Hey there, YouTube. This is Leo Blaze 20 coming to you with another deck profile. This time for my ShineGreymon deck. This deck's been a favorite of mine for the last couple years, getting various upgrades ever since BT 13 and what have you. This is one. This is the one I took to regionals a couple years ago with some buddies of mine, and where all my friends and and teammates basically broke even. It's really good at being able to OTK. It does brick a little bit, but I mean, still love the deck. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into the profile. Starting off with the eggs, I'm running 4 copies of the new BT21 Coromon. This one is when any of your red or yellow tamers suspend, you draw one. So this egg has become more popular as of late with ShineGreymon because, again, trying to avoid the whole getting ace situation since aces have been a thing since BT14. The other egg that's still viable, the BT14 Coromon, still amazing if you want to go more of the red build. But I'm finding I like this one just a little bit more. But again, I still love and have extras of the BT14 if I ever want to swap back to it. All right, that's it for the eggs. Let's go ahead and move on to the level 3s. For the level 3s, first off, we're starting off with 4 copies of the BT12 Agumon. This is your main searcher, checking top 4 to add a card with Greymon and 1 Marcus. And then obviously send the rest to the bottom of the deck. Inheritable is your turn when one of your yellow or red tamers becomes suspended. One of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 2,000 power for the turn. So, this deck's really good at, since it's got part yellow and red, this deck's good at minusing DP off of a Digimon and killing it that way. Next up, we're running 3 copies of the BT13 Agumon. And this is the one where, for the turn, during your main phase, one of your Marcus Daemon becomes a 3,000 Digimon and it can't Digivolve. When one of your turn, when one of your red or yellow tamers suspends, basically one of your opponent's Digimon with 3,000 power gets deleted. So, good way to snipe your opponent's Digimon, especially Floodgate rookies or what have you, so on and so forth. Next, we got 3 copies of the EX4 Agumon. This helps gain memory if you have a red or yellow tamer in play. And then the inheritable is when one of your red or yellow tamers becomes suspended, draw a card. So, draw power is still good, obviously, in this game. It, again, helps to facilitate to get your combo pieces. And then finally running 2 copies of the BT21 Agumon. So just like the Gamamon, BT21 Gamamon from BT21, this one's a warper. This a lot helps to get you to warp into ShineGreymon for cost of 4 during Digivolution requirements. And then also it's inheritable. It's just this during your turn it gets plus 2,000 DP, so it helps get ShineGreymon a little bit of a power boost. Kind of nice to have as a 2 of. That's it for level 3s. Let's go ahead and go into level 4s. For level 4s, first off, we're running 4 copies of the BT12 GeoGreymon. This is the one on Digivolve. If you don't have a Marcus in play, play him out. And then his inheritable is similar to the basically the exact same as the BT12, is minus 2k to one of your opponent's Digimon when one of your red or yellow tamers becomes suspended. So for him, to help cheat out Marcus. And speaking of cheating out Marcus, because it's still hit on the ban list, we're doing 1 copy of the BT13, because this thing's still on the ban list, a 1 of. Praying Bandai decides to bring it back. I mean, even if they did, you'd only maybe run this as a 2 of, because there's just so much other stuff to cheat out Marcus now. It's, kind of crazy. When Digivolving, search your security stack and play 1 red or yellow tamer from among it without paying the cost. If you do, recover 1. And then you shuffle your security stack afterwards and your deck. Or excuse me, your security stack rather. And then inheritable effect is similar, exact same as the BT13. delete or snipe one of your opponent's Digimon with 3,000 power or less. So again, takes care of Floodgate rookies, or if you manage to weaken one of your opponent's Digimon significantly, then yeah, it dies. And then next up, we're running 3 copies of the BT21 ShineGreymon. All turns once per turn when any of your Marcus Damon Tamers are played. This can Digivolve into a ShineGreymon without paying the cost. It's kind of nice to help jump up into it, especially if you combo it with the BT21 ShineGreymon. The thing is nuts and probably one of my new favorite cards. And Inheritable is similar to the BT21 Agu, plus 2,000 DP to your Digimon this turn. And then finally, to wrap up the level 4s, 2 copies of the EX4. Again, same thing as the EX4 Agumon. This helps you gain memory, and then also it's draw power as well, too. That's it for level 4s. Let's go ahead and move on to level 5s. Level 5s are going to be standard affair. You can adjust your ratios. This is kind of where you have a little bit of a flex spot if you wish. I'll show you some options in the tech options at the end of the video. 4 copies of the BT13 ShineGreymon. On Digivolve, play a Marcus from your hand without paying the cost, and then all turns. And this effect also carries over to the Inheritable. When one of your red or yellow tamers is deleted, place one Marcus from your trash at the top of your security face down. And then, like I said, same thing for the Inheritable. So usually you want a target to go into this one, especially if you haven't had a Marcus out yet, or if you want to play an additional one. This will help to accelerate into your plays, especially to use Marcus to punch face and Digivolve up for free. But anyway, and then next, this is kind of probably my new favorite ShineGreymon, the BT21 ShineGreymon. This thing is kind of nutty. On play when Digivolving, for the turn, one of your Marcus is also treated as a 3,000 power Digimon, can't Digivolve, and it gets Rush and Alliance. Then one of your Digimon may attack. So it's kind of a pseudo blitz effect, especially end of turn, and then especially if you're playing out the Marcus that allows you to cheat into to Digivolve up, you go jump into a ShineGreymon with this effect, which is kind of nice. And then it's got the similar effect to the BT13 ShineGrey, where if one of your yellow or red tamers is deleted, place a Marcus at the top of your security. And Inheritable is the same thing. So this card's nuts. You could also adjust the ratios, make plays. This is a 4 of. I like it at 3. I mean, again, if you can adjust it how you see fit, depending on what your play style is. But I mean, 3 is enough. At least I wouldn't run any less than it because it's such an amazing, amazing card. All right, we're gonna go ahead and jump over to level 6s. Level 6s, it's pretty, how should I put it? It's pretty standard affair. You kind of have a little bit of flex spot, but primarily you want to be playing 4 copies of the BT12 ShineGreymon. This is still the best ShineGreymon to date. There's a reason why I think Bandai's been trying to watch the power creep, although, any card game, power creep's still inevitable. There still hasn't been a better ShineGreymon to date. So when Digivolving, for each yellow and red tamer you have, one of your opponent's Digimon, and all of their security Digimon get minus 3,000 power for the turn. And then your turn, all of your Marcus Daemon get plus 3,000 power and security attack plus 1. This is basically what you need to go into to, literally close out games. This thing's still the best ShineGreymon, and I don't know how you're going to make something better. I know in the advanced booster with the second reprint set, we're getting a new one. But this guy is amazing, and yes, these are my regional arts from that same the 2023 regional tournament that my friends and I went to. Yeah, I had to get these and flex a little bit, but I mean, love this deck to get to pieces. And again, these alt arts here are just, again, good memories of a fun tournament. And then the last level 6 I'm running is 2 copies of the BT21 ShineGreymon. This thing's kind of similar to the BT21 SiriusMon, where you on Digivolve or when attacking, but unfortunately it's only once per turn. You can snipe your opponent's Digimon with 9,000 DP or less, so it's a little bit more restrictive. But I mean, especially if while you're swinging and you give all the minus DP buffs, and if you get your opponent's Digimon weak enough, this thing's killing it. If your other effects aren't And then when attacking by suspending one of your red or yellow tamers, this Digimon gains security attack +1 and plus 3,000 DP. So basically making himself a 15,000 beat stick. And then plus if you have any other buffs in there, he's just getting fat and beefy. Definitely I've been coming to like this ShineGreymon a lot more. The BT13 one's also another option you can run because it's a little bit more defensive of an option. I used to love that one, but this one, especially for a little bit more of an aggro build, especially to combo into the BT21 Rise Greymon, is pretty stupid. So that's it for level 6s. Let's go on to level 7s. Level 7s. Playing the one Floodgate. Kind of got to. ShineGreymon Ruin Mode. This is probably the most expensive card in the deck. It's been reprinted in the LM set. On Digivolving and also on deletion, until the end of your opponent's turn, all of your opponent's Digimon get minus 5,000 DP. So this happens twice. So once when Digivolving, and then of course when he's deleted. End of attack, delete this Digimon, and one of your opponent's Digimon, and one of your opponent's Digimon, and then you also recover one. Then if you have a Tamer in play, hatch a Digi-Egg into an empty space in the breeding area. So this also helps you facilitate starting to go into another stack. But he's also a massive floodgate because, yeah, needless to say, just minusing 10,000 DP is pretty stupid. It's kind of like as busted as Medieval Gallantmon is. You only need it as a one-of because, again, you're trying to facilitate going into an OTK. Speaking of... 2 copies of ShineGreymon Burst Mode. Again, this thing's fantastic. This is what you go wham bam, thank you ma'am, and what you use to finally OTK your opponent besides your Marcus play. When Digivolving, plays out a Marcus and turns it into a Digimon with 12,000 power, and it gains Rush and can't Digivolve, obviously. And then your turn, when one of your Tamers becomes suspended, trash the top card of your opponent's security stack. This card's still amazing, and obviously it's getting reprinted in the reprint set with a really badass alt art. I mean, I still love this one. I'm probably going to run this one, because the artwork's sick. But I'll probably pick up the new ones for collection or whatever, just to have it on hand. And then the final level 7, you can, again, this is kind of another flex spot, do what you want with. I am running 1 copy of the Burst Mode Ace from BT17. Again, just to be able to have something defensive. It's kind of like a weaker Ruin Mode in a way. But this also can help to set up to go into finish off your opponent too. So I love the flexibility of this card. Of course, this artwork's sick as hell, being the alt art. But being able to at least have 1 ace to hand trap my opponent, so to speak, to steal a Yu-Gi-Oh term is fantastic. Again, it also can be used on your turn as a finisher as well, too, because it gets the security attack +1 by suspending up to 2 of your yellow Tamers. On play, when Digivolving, you may play 1 Tamer from your hand without paying the cost. Then one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 5,000 for each of your Tamers. So being able to go minus 15 on something, yeah, you're killing most mega levels, like easy, especially. You can threaten like some of the bigger end ones, like even Paladin Mode Ace or what have you, or Paladin Mode and Quartzmon or what have you. But anywho, really, really underrated card. Some people run them, some people don't. It's up to you. I mean, I like having it for that option. It's helped me out in situations. All right, that's it for all the Digimon. Let's go into the Tamers, which the Tamers are pretty much going to be self-explanatory. You're running 4 copies of the BT12 Marcus Damon. This is the main Tamer you want. This is the one you're going to want to use to punch face. Start of your main phase. If you have a Digimon with Agumon or Greymon, by paying 1 memory for the turn, he gets turned into a Digimon with 3,000 power and he can't Digivolve. And then your turn, when this Tamer becomes suspended, one of your Digimon may Digivolve into a yellow card with Greymon in its name from your hand without paying the cost. So this is Mr. Punchy Boy, as people call him. Wham Bam, thank you ma'am, and especially combo with the BT12 Shine, being able to just gain initial security attack, and then, especially if you have a Burst Mode Ace, or Burst Mode in your hand, just bouncing back, Burst Digivolve into Burst Mode, and then play him out again, and then punch again. Pretty stupid. Usually I like, especially if I have a second stack going, it's even more fun. But yeah, he's still arguably the best tamer, and you must play him as a 4 if you want to see this guy. It's crucial to be, he is essentially the first tamer to play out to get your combos going. Next up, I am playing 3 copies of the BT13. Marcus, this is your memory tamer. On play, suspend this. You may suspend this tamer. When this tamer becomes suspended, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 3,000 for the turn. Then if you have a Digimon with Agumon or Greymon in name, gain a memory. So it's kind of help. He ends up becoming kind of a 4 cost on play. But yeah, like I think he's of second most importance to play. And then this is kind of a little bit of a flex spot, although I've been liking this one a little bit more. 1 copy of the BT21 Marcus. On play, one of your Marcus Damon may suspend. And then once per turn, if I can get this stupid thing to focus. Once per turn, when this tamer suspends, one of your Digimon gains piercing and plus 3,000 for the turn, and then one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 3,000 for the turn. So this actually combos really well with the BT21 ShineGreymon, giving an additional 13,000 boost. An additional 3,000 boost, so, making him basically 18,000 on his own. But then if you have Agumon or whatever in his sources, you can get him up to about 22,000 if you stack it correctly with piercing and security attack plus 2. I mean, that's the security attack plus 1, excuse me. That's pretty stupid. Alrighty. That's it for tamers. Let's go ahead and go into option cards. I'm only running 3. Again, there's some flex spots in here. If you feel like you want to change stuff out, run additional options. Like, you have that choice, like a scramble, or if you want to run the other memory boosts, that's fine. I am running 3 copies of the new Vermilion memory boost from the recent LM set. This helps search out red or yellow, digging 3, and then of course doing the whole gaining 2 memory. Crimson Blaze is also still popular, to be able to board wipe, so you want to still have that option that's fine. But I personally choose not to run it because, again, having a bunch of minus DP effects and plus BT21 ShineGreymon being able to snipe stuff's pretty nice. So, again, plus Ruin mode, your mileage may vary. And then I'll show you some tech cards real quick, some other options if you wish. So, level 5s, you can still do the Rise Greymon X antibody from BT9. Helps cheat out a Marcus. And then also gaining DP for each tamer you have in play. And then also minusing your opponent minus 2,000 DP for each of your tamers. So helps to kind of clear out. Digimon also becomes like a mini boss if you wish. And also to cheat out a Marcus. So he's still a good option to have. You could play, even though I don't like this card that much, the BT17 one, which has a protection effect. He's not my favorite. The artwork looks decent, but he's just kind of meh. And then the BT13 one still, I mean, I like him as a defensive option, so if you feel like you want to be a little bit more defensive, because being able to call up one of your Marcuses as a Digimon and make him a blocker is pretty nice. And then when any of your red or yellow tamer suspends, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 6,000 for that turn. So he's still a solid option. And yes, this is the Evolution Cup alt art. Why not? Aside from that, you could also run additional Ruin modes if you wish. If you want to go more of a, I want to lock down my opponent approach. Different type of Marcus you could play. If you're going more defensive, you can play the BT17 Marcus if you wish, which basically makes one of your Marcuses into a Digimon and also becomes a blocker. And then when this tamer becomes suspended, one of your Digimon gets plus 3,000 power. And if you have Agumon or Greymon, gain a memory. So he's kind of clutch. And then a few other option cards I'll just show you real quick just to get it out of the way. Besides Crimson Blaze, Sunrise Buster, which is limited to 1. Pretty good option. Play a tamer, and then each of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 3 for each yellow and red tamer. And then Final Shining Burst, being able to cheat out a Marcus, and then one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 12,000 DP. So, again, that's just a few options to mess around with. But anyway, guys, that's the end of this deck profile. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will catch you next time.